Hey guys, what's up and welcome to my channel. I have a very exciting video for today. You already know because of the title, but we're doing bookish things. It is true that I haven't read as much this year, so I don't have that kind of massive update in terms of reading for 2025, but I finally caved and bought myself a Kindle. I'm so excited. I just couldn't stop myself any longer. Ever since 2024, I've been wanting to get a Kindle, but my logical side was like, do you really need it when you have already the app downloaded and you're reading physical books? I was like, no. But now I just couldn't hold myself. And the way I kind of rationalized my purchase, it was because one of the reasons why I haven't read as much this year, it's because I've been spending way too much time in my phone just scrolling on TikTok, on Instagram. You have already seen in my videos, I always procrastinated by scrolling on social media, and I feel like it's time for me to have a digital detox so I can focus not only on reading but also on getting things done. I'm just wasting so much time on my phone and I'm just trying to leave it behind as much as possible. But when it came to me actually reading, I would either get distracted and go back to social media or just go directly to social media and not even thinking about the possibility of me reading on my phone when I have Kindle Unlimited and I'm paying for my Kindle subscription every single month and I'm not using it as much. So I was like, you know what, it's time, and it will help me to have an additional device that is not connected to any social media at all. So I placed the order and it's supposed to be arriving today, and that's what sparked the idea of making this video, because not only I will be doing a Kindle unboxing and setting up my Kindle and everything, I also noticed that I haven't updated my reading journals. So I'm gonna explain more in detail in a little bit, but I have two kind of reading journals, one in digital on GoodNotes and one physical, and I need to update both of those. And then I'm currently reading a book that's called Rival Darling by Alexandra Moody. I think that's how you pronounce her name, I don't know, but it's one of the books that I downloaded in my Stuff My Kindle video on Vlogmas, and I recently saw a TikTok of this girl promoting her books, and the way she talked about her books in general just made me really want to read the book that I had downloaded. So I started that yesterday and I found myself wanting to really keep on reading. So I was like, it's just the perfect time. Everything is coming together for me to make this video and just enjoy my ultimate hobby of reading and books and everything and just be happy. So that's the plan. I also need to edit today's video, actually, that's going up today. Yesterday I managed to edit I think 90% of it, so I'm pretty much done, but it's a book video, so it still counts as doing bookish things. So probably I'm just gonna finish, well, not probably, I need to finish it today so that I can upload today and start March on a good note. So that's also on the to-do. Yeah, let's wait until my Kindle arrives and continue with this video.
Ay, por favor, por favor, por favor. Ok, ok, se ve bien. Ok, bueno, si esto no se rompe. Y un pop socket. Ok.
I'm so happy. I'm just in love. I'm not gonna lie, I have spent the last 2 hours reading because one, I'm obsessed with this book. I really love it, and I can definitely see myself prioritizing reading right now because I just want to be taking my Kindle everywhere. I get the hype now. I really get the hype, and it was about time. So I'm officially 100% a Kindle girly right now, and I'm just so happy. I just couldn't be happier. But story time. I wasn't planning on leaving the house today because I had planned this video, and I was like, I need to wait for my package because I don't have a mailbox in this house, and if this house is empty, no one can pick up the package. So it's like, I'm not gonna leave the house. It's gonna be an amazing day just reading and books. And then my mom was like, no, you need to come to church with us because I have to work on a different state Monday and Tuesday, but we're leaving today. So one of my colleagues is gonna come pick me up, but you need to take your grandma and the car back to the house. And I'm like, but my package? And it's like, okay, fine. So I went to church and everything was fine. Then just after mass ended, I'm like, I'm gonna check Amazon, and it says it was delivered to the home resident. And I'm like, what? My house completely empty. And we have struggled so much with our house and with delivering to our house because our house is number 8 and there are 3 fucking houses with the number 8 in our street. So it's very confusing. Every single time the delivery guys need to call us for us to send our actual like location for them to find the house because they always get lost. So when I saw that, I was like, they probably delivered my package to the other 2 houses. What am I gonna do? I completely lost it. So we came here and I was already planning to go knock on the other houses' doors to see like, please, have you received my package? I had lost hope, honestly. I was already planning to file a claim on Amazon saying that I didn't receive my package. And then when my grandma opened the garage, she saw the box in there and she was like, yeah, it's here. But like, you already saw the box. It didn't really fit through anywhere. I don't know how they managed to get my package inside, and I'm like, okay, I'm grateful that it didn't get delivered to another house, but they probably threw my box through the garage, literally threw it over, and I'm like, please don't let my Kindle be broken. Thankfully, everything is fine, everything worked out well, but like, it was just a very stressful time, and that's the funny story. So now that we have the important delivery in here, we're gonna start with all the bookish things, but first let me just feed my dogs and gather my supplies, and we're gonna go to the garden and hopefully continue reading. I'm devouring this book. It says I can finish this book in 4 hours and 44 minutes, so I'm probably gonna be finishing this book up because I can't think of anything else. Okay, let's get to crafting. First things first, I just found this paper laying around and I've been wanting to decorate the back of my Kindle with something red. I don't know, I've been loving the burgundy color as of lately, so I thought I would just make it very simple. Just cut a piece of this and put it underneath so that it is red just as I wanted. I was originally looking for a burgundy case for my Kindle, but I couldn't find one that I really loved, so I thought I would just save a couple of coins and do this little tiny very easy DIY real quick so that my Kindle is red. It is red now, but it does look quite plain. Oh, I do have a sticker. Wait, let me grab it. Okay, I got my stickers. I'm kind of feeling like putting this one. It doesn't really have anything to do with books, but it goes with a color scheme. And I have this sticker thing right here. And I think I want to do the ones related to coffee because I love coffee, or I have plants. Yeah, let me figure this out and I'm gonna show you the final product. Okay, not bad. I actually love how it turned out to be kind of improvised and out of the blue. It looks really cute. The colors just match pretty well. So yeah. Anyways, that is done in terms of Kindle decorations. And now we're gonna move forward with the reading journal. As I mentioned, I have two, one digital, one physical. In general, I don't do book reviews. I'm gonna start doing that on Substack, but for my personal use, my personal enjoyment, I'm not doing reading reviews in my reading journal. The only thing and why I do keep track of the books that I read is one, out of curiosity, two, in order for me to film my reading wrap-ups on YouTube, and three, because I'm very afraid that the Kindle Unlimited books that I read are gonna disappear eventually or not being available on Kindle Unlimited, and so I wouldn't have access to those books anymore, and I thought it would just make sense to compilate all of my favorite quotes of the Kindle books that I have onto one single journal, one single notebook, and that's essentially what it is. That's essentially all that I do in terms of keeping track of my readings. Now, I did used to think that I had very good memory and that I could remember most of the books that I read, so there wasn't any need for me to actually keep track of the books and the plots. But then when I took reading seriously and I started reading way more, I noticed that I was actually forgetting important details of the books. I knew kind of the general plot, but that wasn't enough to just explain books on camera. So I started kind of keeping track of the plot, but then I got bored and I was like, yeah, not really for me, it's not fun. And plus, if I forget the general details of a book, if I want to reread them, it's like I'm reading them for the first time because I don't remember. So pros and cons, but I decided to just leave it like that, just talk about the books that I remembered as much as I remembered, and then rereading the books if I want to, and just continue enjoying the feeling of diving into a story and not kind of knowing what's gonna happen. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, that's my thought process behind this. And now more specifically for my iPad and my digital reading journal, it's more of a reading log. So the only thing that I do is keep track of the books that I read in total, both Kindle and physical. So this one is kind of my first page, and these are the books that I read in 2023. Then this one is 2024 and 2024. So I really stepped up my game in 2024, and that's the only thing that I do, just for me to reference back in my reading wrap-ups. And it's always fun to see how many books you have read, how many times you reread a certain book, and everything. So I'm just gonna update this one. Again, I haven't read as much. I think I only have 3 books to add into this section right here, and then we're gonna move on to the actual notebook. I think this is getting kind of very stupid for me to film because I haven't done much. I'm just explaining something very simple. But now moving forward to my physical journal. So again, I'm just taking the quotes from I just take the quotes from my favorite books and I add the cover of the book, the title, the author, if it's part of a series, the quotes, and just for decor purposes, I like to add a collage of the book in here to illustrate the aesthetic of the book. I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't create these collages myself. I just go on Pinterest and print the one that I feel like it's more accurate to how I picture the book and the characters in my head. That's the main thing that I do in this one. And I also started a very easy reading log of 2024. I'm pending, as you can see, to add the last 3 books that I read in the year, and I also have a series tracker in here. So pretty simple. I just listed all of the series that I am currently in the middle of. The ones that I had already finished, I didn't really include them because I didn't see any point. I need to update this one. And yeah, as for the quotes, the last book that I included was Phantasma, so I'm pending to add. I have the ritual right here, my December darling, Addicted After All, so that's done. This one I think is Thrive, so done. I'm gonna give you an overall flip through once I'm finished, but yeah, I'm gonna shut up and start working on this now. Okay, journal is done. Here's the overview of how everything's looking, my reading tracker, and we start with the book quotes. As you can see, each one has the book quotes and book cover and book collage or aesthetic or inspiration or whatever you want to call it. Here are all of these. I actually really like how it looks. I don't know, very filled out, but still with a couple of decorations to be attractive. I don't know, but I love it. From here, these are the entries that I worked on today. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now the priority is to really hurry up with editing my video. It is 8:05 p.m. So I'm hoping that I can upload it today. I'm 90% into it. So I'm gonna hurry up to finish editing the last 5 minutes, export it and upload it. The only thing is that my Wi-Fi in here is very slow. So I'm hoping that with 4 hours to spare, I can manage to publish it. And I just remember I need to post on Instagram and social media in general today. So I'm gonna look into my content calendar and see what do I need to post. And then the rest of the evening, we're gonna spend it reading. Let me hurry up with editing and we'll go from there. Vlog is edited. It has currently been uploaded to YouTube. I have already posted my Instagram reel. And I noticed I deleted my footage after I posted. I was like, okay, I'm done. I don't need this footage in my camera roll anymore. And now I'm remembering I didn't repost it to TikTok. But yeah, I still have 20 minutes left for the video to be ready on YouTube. So I'm gonna continue reading. That's the only thing that I have left for today besides my Duolingo, but that's not book related. So I'm gonna keep on reading right now. If I manage to keep myself awake, I can probably finish this book today. Okay, I did finish the book and let's talk about it so that we can wrap up this video. Here's my final review of Rival Darling. I didn't expect to love it as much as I did, if I'm being completely honest. It was very innocent, very closed doors. It really didn't feel that young adult for me in terms of how the characters were thinking. Normally in these types of books at this point for me, it's kind of a hit or miss because if they sound too immature for me, if I'm constantly reminded that they're in high school, not even in college, then it really doesn't help me to resonate with the characters because I don't know, sometimes they're too mature and that just doesn't help me to fall in love with the relationship or to believe the romance in general. But in this case, they almost sound more towards college people instead of high school, so it wasn't that bad. And in terms of the general plot, I don't know. So hear me out. If I just base myself on the feeling and how the author carries you through the romance and how he falls first and he falls harder, it was honestly so cute. I loved the romance in that aspect. It was very innocent yet very romantic. It was just so sweet how he treated her. But if we want to be a little bit more logical in this romance, it's almost like Insta love because this entire romance thing happens in a time span of, I believe, a month. Even at some point I was like, yeah, they're so cute, they've been knowing each other for quite a while now. And then there was a specific chapter in which the male character, he said like, it's funny how I'm already falling in love with her and it's been only like, let's say a week or a week and a half of knowing her. And I'm like, right. They instantly fell in love, they instantly fake dated, they instantly were like, I have feelings for you, and then by the end of the month, let's say, everything happened. And I'm like, okay, if I remember that specific detail, then my rating and my love for this couple drops a little bit. But on the other side, it was so sweet that I can't forget about this stuff. Do you know what I mean? But it is very enjoyable nonetheless. He's just so sweet to her and I just loved him so much. But I think I haven't told you what this book's about. So let me explain. We are following Reed and Violet. Both of them are seniors in high school and they basically live in this neighborhood that's divided by a river. And so Reed's neighborhood is kind of the poor one, which is not really poor, but like medium class type of neighborhood and Violet's neighborhood is the rich one, and so these two high schools have this rivalry, and also part of this kind of bad reputation of the neighborhood, of the high school, and in general of the hockey team is because of the Darling brothers. So Reed's last name is Darling, and he also has two brothers that are also part of the hockey team, and so they're the Darling Devils. The hockey team is kind of the Devils of, I don't remember the name of the neighborhood, but the nickname for the three brothers, since they're Darlings, they're the Darling Devils, and they're kind of the most dangerous brothers or gang in the whole neighborhood, and everybody fears them because they're just have a really bad reputation and just very weird rumors that at the end of the day they're high school. So when you're in high school, you're a teenager and you like the drama naturally, okay? So you can understand where those rumors come from, but on the other side they're just stupid. So Reed is the captain of the hockey team, and then we have the other hockey captain who is Violet's actual ex-boyfriend. And so they're living happily ever after, each one of them in their own paths, until Violet finds out that her boyfriend is cheating on her. And from there, she's like, I knew I shouldn't have dated athletes because her father was a professional football player, I believe. And since he wanted to pursue his career, he abandoned her mother and Violet. So she has this trauma, and something that her mother was very insistent on was never date athletes. And she's like, I knew I should have listened to my mother and I didn't, and now look what I got. So she's heartbroken, and she actually finds about this at a party. When she was driving to her party, her car broke down, and guess who decides to stop and help her? Reed. So he's like, don't worry, my dad is a mechanic and he can take a look to your car. However, we do need to take it to his shop and it won't be available until Monday. And she's like, yeah, no worries, thank you so much. She already knows the reputation of Reed already, and she already knows that the guy who's helping her is Reed Darling, but she's like, I don't have any other choice, and besides, he seems pretty nice. So she's like, okay, thank you so much for helping me, I'm actually going to a party. She goes over there, Reed goes to his house, and in his house, he's like, oh, Violet forgot her purse and she may need it, so let me go back to the party and deliver her purse. Violet sees her boyfriend kissing the other girl and she's like, oh my god. She escapes the party and she's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, blah blah blah. She comes out and she crashes onto someone's chest, and guess who it was? Reed. And so from there they're talking and there's kind of instant attraction from his side. At this point Violet's completely heartbroken, and then there was a bonfire party, and fun fact, this bonfire party, it's kind of the only time of the year in which both high schools kind of get along, because this party is so amazing that no one wants to cause trouble, because otherwise they're gonna be vetoed from attending the party in future years. And of course, Reed comes along and Violet's like, what's the only possible solution for my ex to leave me alone? I'm gonna kiss Reed. She kisses him, and from there they start fake dating. So that's the plot. You have fake dating, you have he falls first and he falls harder. It's a lot of back and forth, but it's entertaining nonetheless, and also the romance is very sweet. However, there are things that I feel like could have been developed a little bit more. For example, Violet's relationship with her mother, it's very, very bad. You're constantly reminded that Violet has a heavy trauma of abandonment because her mother literally left her with her uncle, and you're left like this. They never treat this particular trauma. You don't know what happened with that relationship after the book ends. Then the rivalry is kind of stupid. It doesn't have a huge kind of background in there. There was a bunch of loose ends in this story, I'm gonna admit. But overall, if you see past the Insta love, if you see past these loose ends, and if you see past a specific scene, I'm not gonna mention it, although it is all over Goodreads, but I do feel like it's kind of a spoiler, so I'm not gonna mention it. But there was one scene that it was so fucking cringy. It was almost painful to read because of how cringy it was. If you see past those 3 points, I think you're gonna be able to enjoy it. If you love the vibes of To All the Boys I Loved Before, then I do think you're gonna be able to like it. So that is that. I ended up giving this book 3 stars, so yeah. that is it for my review, and that is gonna be it for this video. I had so much fun dedicating an entire day to books. Plus, I'm planning a bunch of book videos that I'm just so excited. But yeah, you're gonna see that in future videos, so stay tuned and subscribe to my channel if you wanna keep up with those. And also, if you wanna see a little bit more of my day-to-day life, feel free to follow me on Instagram or TikTok. I'm also active on there, and I'll see you in my next video. They're just fighting like little cats.